Hey, yo, what up? I'm Josh Martinez inside of our Dunkin Music Lounge, New York City, with my guest, Devon Cole. Hello, darling.
Hi.
So,
my God, so sweet.
So it's a pretty exciting time in your life. We have a new album coming out at the end of October, right? 2 Shades Blonder.
Yeah.
Why the title?
Well, that's one of the songs, and I feel like this song really encompasses a lot of the growth that I've been doing in the past couple years. It's about constantly reaching for something and never feeling content enough. I always feel like, if I move to this city, it'll cure my depression, or if I go blonde, it'll cure my depression, or if I buy this thing, if I smoke this thing. Can I say that?
Say whatever the fuck you want.
Okay, then I'll feel better, and I never do. So I'm 2 shades blonder and still no fun, because blondes are supposed to have more fun, you know?
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. So yeah, that's why it's called 2 shades blonder.
I like that.
Thank you.
So you mentioned kind of curing of depression. Are you the typical type that if like something wrong goes in her life, shopping or haircuts happen?
Absolutely. Absolutely. 2 words, absolutely.
Of course.
I am an absolute shopaholic. I love to shop. I love to thrift. And if I'm going through something in my life, I'll usually cut myself bangs.
Okay.
So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Have you learned new like cutting techniques on TikTok?
No, they're getting worse.
Oh.
It's getting worse.
Wait, your bangs or TikTok bangs?
My bangs. I haven't done it in a couple years. They've been growing out. Yeah. So I haven't been that depressed in a while. So
Okay.
hey.
There we go.
Woo!
You mentioned thrifting and shopping. The skirt.
Thank you.
A little story behind it?
Yes, I have a fun fact about this. This might embarrass somebody close to me, but I have to say it. I was in Toronto recently, and my skirt was just in the living room at my mom's place, and I was like, why is this here? I thought the dog might have dragged it out or something, and it was my brother's birthday the night before. And then he woke up from his slumber, and he said, why did I wake up in your skirt? And I said, I have no idea. I should be asking you that. So I thought that was cute.
So who looks better in the skirt? You or him?
I literally, probably him. It's his color for sure.
What age did he turn?
He turned 28.
Eh.
Yeah, but he was wearing a Toronto Blue Jays shirt. Like, this is the color of the blue, not the blue
throwback.
No, the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Maple
oh my
Leafs,
God.
okay.
Somebody fire me. And it looked really, really good together. So.
Really?
Yeah.
That with the Maple Leaf Royal Blue?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. The Toronto Maple Leafs are like indigo. Come on, Josh.
They're bright, but I would say a little more royal. Whatever.
Yeah. He looked awesome.
Agree to disagree. But you just dropped a song, Sugar Daddy.
Yes.
What was the songwriting process behind that? Because it is a pretty unique message to the song.
It is. And for anybody who is listening who doesn't know, it's not what you think. It's I make my own sugar and I am my own daddy. And the songwriting process was just pure fun. I really wanted to write a song that was empowering. I feel like I've been shedding a lot of layers of myself that no longer serve me, and really stepping into my confidence and trying to work on my self-esteem. And so it came very naturally from that process of trying to work on myself and stepping into a new confident era. And it's just kind of a bad bee anthem about being confident and sexy and being your own breadwinner and not sacrificing your happiness for anybody.
Nor should you.
Yeah.
And also remember that no is a complete sentence.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's something that has been the biggest learning for me. I think as a woman and as a Canadian, I have a tendency to want to people please and make sure everybody's comfortable. And really this year I've been like, I'm a boss. I am the boss in certain areas. And yeah, so honoring that.
So you kind of got put on to the map with the song Witch.
Yes.
And then obviously, you know, a couple of other songs have been with Sugar Daddy included, kind of that empowering, very just, it's all about you in like a positive way. It's all about you and hyping yourself up because that's the confidence that you have. Where did that energy come from? Because it had to have come from a place where maybe it was opposite at a point, right?
For sure. I think I write songs like that because they're messages that I need to hear. I've definitely struggled with liking myself, loving myself in my life. And so I really love songs like that. Like There's a song by Meghan Trainor, Me Too. If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. You guys know it. And I love that song, like any kind of song like that. So there's songs that I love to hear and love to consume, and I tend to want to write things that I would want to listen to. So that's where that comes from.
So I'm just curious about the songwriting process behind a song that is so empowering, that is so positive. I would feel like it's a bit of a challenge to sit down in the songwriting room and try to channel that energy on a random writing session, right? So specifically with Witch, do you remember what the mindset was writing that song?
Yes. Well, I typically start with titles. And that's where a lot of my songs come from. Sometimes they come organically and I don't start with the title, but I'm very much a concept forward girly. So Witch was a concept that I was having in my back pocket for a while until the right kind of track came along. And the same thing with Sugar Daddy. I'm like, how hilarious is it to have a song called Sugar Daddy? And it's like, not what you think. So it comes from titles. Is that, Josh, is that not the answer you were like looking for?
No. It's everyone has their own songwriting process.
Okay. Yeah.
So I want to know what's yours, because I'm always fascinated by it, because I feel like a lot of people think that it's very much kind of like, hey, I'm just going into a room, I'm looking at 8 people, they're writing me a song, I'm just going to go in the booth and sing it.
Right.
It's not, especially at a level that you're at, where it's just kind of like, it's all about me right now, and I got to hustle, grind on my own. So I'm always fascinated to hear what the songwriting process is, especially for a song that is so, the message is so obvious and clear with Witch.
Yeah. Well, I'm very much a top-down writer, and I need to know what I'm writing about before I start writing. It's like the same thing with a thesis. It like guides your writing. Like nothing scares me more than staring at a blank page or having a blank track without having, it could be this, we could write about this. What are we writing about? Or at least a concept. But I write all my own songs with other people, and I need that sense of control. I really like to contribute.
So based on what you said, you are a power top in the songwriting world.
Major. Yeah.
So what do you do when you hit that creative block? Like, do you have something that you do if you have a songwriting session on a random, let's say Tuesday night, and you've just for days have not been able to get over that writer's block hurdle? What do you do?
Well, that happens, and that's very normal. And what I have been trying to do is, I keep coming back to what Ed Sheeran has said. He says that you need to like let the tap run to get the dirty water and get it out before you can get to the good stuff. So you shouldn't be afraid of writing a bad song. Just write the song, even if it's a bad one, and know that it's getting you one step closer to a really good song. So I think I have to remind myself that it's pressure that I'm putting on myself, and it's coming from fear, not wanting to write. I don't think there's any such thing as writer's block. I think it's a fear. Like you can write a song about donuts in like 2 minutes, and like why not? There you go, you wrote a song. So I think just understanding that it's fear and pressure that's not letting you get past it.
Have you written a song maybe on your own personal time in a notes app on your phone where you're like, okay, this is just a little too personal, I'm not ready for that yet?
Yes, but I am releasing one on this EP. Yeah, on this Two Shades Wander EP. It's called All Bad, and it makes me absolutely weep. We did a playback yesterday. I wept twice, not once, twice, because it's very personal, and it's about things that make me want to cry, like feeling worthless, growing up feeling worthless, being raised to believe I'm worthless, and kind of having to reparent myself as an adult. So, and it comes from a low self-esteem place, so it makes me upset. But I think those songs are important. I asked the sound engineer guy, I'm like, which one was your favorite, Edgar? And he said, All Bad was my favorite. So I'm really excited to be releasing it, but it's scary. It's scary. Those ones are scary.
For a song like that, for example, do you go into it saying, okay, I've been feeling down, and now I'm going to channel back to my childhood and try to find that inner, for lack of a better term, sadness into that song? How did that songwriting, song's writing process kind of break down, if you remember?
I remember I was trying to write about anything other than me, like anything that's not real. Sometimes I'll come in with titles and I'll say, we should write a song about this. It's never happened to me before, but let's write that. And the person that I was writing with, I I was telling him all these stories about my life, and he's like, you have so many stories, sad moments in your life. What if it started like this? And he really got that ball rolling for me and allowed me the space to know that like it's okay to just be honest about the things that you've gone through. So I think writing with the right person, I think really helps opening those gates, because it is scary to be so honest sometimes.
So from a mental health standpoint, right? When you get off stage, you're feeling your highest.
Yeah.
There's no better feeling than that.
Yeah.
But you obviously got to come down. And I'm always fascinated to ask people, what do they do to come down in a healthy manner? Because anytime you're coming down, it feels like just really bad depression, and you feel like basically the dirt worst. But you're just coming back to like an even field.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
So is there
Yeah,
anything that you
baseline.
is there anything that you do to kind of get you back to baseline safely?
Oh, well, I tour my guitarist and my drummer to my best friends. So I think that really helps. We always sleep in one bed together, except my drummer snores, so sometimes we make her wear a nose patch and put her in the other side of the room.
I will highly recommend a mouth guard.
Okay.
That they could. I have a custom mouth guard.
Okay, slay.
That literally I do not snore or like choke in my sleep anymore. I also
Okay,
have sleep
love.
apnea. We can talk about that off air. Nobody cares. But
No,
that could
I
be
do.
that.
Because she's still snoring, so like she needs help. So.
There you go. So maybe that could be a Christmas gift.
Yes, exactly.
But back to your
Yes.
team.
Well, it helps to decompress with them. We all cuddle in one bed and usually watch a horror movie. That's my favorite way to decompress. I just love being like outside of my body, and it's fun to do that in like a healthy way instead of smoking things. You know what I mean? But I'm really grateful to tour with like my best friend. So, am I holding this close enough?
Yes.
Can y'all hear me? Okay, good. I've always wanted to hold one of these mics with like this triangle thing on it. It's a nice, like, I feel secure.
I prefer the square more.
You're
than
holding
the
it like a
triangle.
wine glass.
It's just, you know what? I caught a lot of shit one time holding it like this, and just to annoy people, I will now
No,
hold
you
it like
do it.
at random times. So like in another 2 minutes, I'll go back to this.
Okay.
Just to annoy people.
I like it.
Thank you.
It's like you're swirling a little glass.
Exactly.
You know?
So, you mentioned going on tour. You were on tour last year.
Yeah.
Was there ever a city that like shocked you by the amount of love that you got?
Oh, Montreal. Montreal. They are just down to party. And they're so supportive. And I think it helps. That is Montreal, and in Quebec, it's kind of a French-speaking place. So it helps if you learn a bit of their language and trying to get through that barrier. But one time I was in a very French-speaking place opening for this artist, Charlotte Cardin, who's I love her so much. And I spoke a little bit of French, and I could just see them like melt with joy. And everything changed after that moment. They were like, but I love Quebec, and I think people in Montreal are so down to support you, and they're really like there for it, even if they don't know your songs.
So we were talking back there a little bit about performing at the Calgary Stampede.
Yes.
Now, how would you break down the Calgary Stampede to Americans that know nothing about the Calgary Stampede?
Ooh, okay. I would say it's like a carnival / rodeo / music festival / beer fest. You have anything that you would need in those areas. Like artists come in and perform, and then there's also chuck wagon races and like what's it called? It's with the bull wrangling, which I don't super love, but some people are really into it in Alberta, so like different strokes for different folks, except save the animals. There's also like fried everything, and a lot of drinking and partying, and a lot of wearing like cowboy boots, and it's just so fun. I love it.
It's one of the few things that I genuinely want to do in life is go to the Calgary Stampede.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
So I've heard.
You would love it.
Too much fun,
Yeah.
depending on who you ask.
Yeah.
From what I've seen on social media and heard through the years.
It's like dirty fun. It's like it's gross. I would go the first weekend when everybody's still like, "Woo!" and they're like pristine and fresh. By the second weekend, it's zombies vomiting in corners of tents. That's what I would say.
That's what we call Manhattan on a Saturday night.
Yeah, amen.
So, before we wrap things up, we are in the Dunkin Music Lounge, as we see. I always like to ask this question.
Yeah.
If you sat at a Dunkin
Yeah.
for 60 minutes
Yeah.
with one artist,
Uh-huh.
dead or alive,
Ooh,
who are you sitting with?
Freddie Mercury.
You said that quickly.
Yeah.
What is
I
it about
love
Freddie?
him. It's top of mind for me because I just made my mom watch Bohemian Rhapsody the other day. And I just love him. I love his story. I love his confidence. I love his commitment to his artistry and his not compromising attitude. He was very much like, this stuff rocks. You can take it or leave it. And I just love him, and I'm a really big fan. And I just think we would kiki and have a good time.
So before we wrap things up, what can we expect from you for the rest of 2024? We know the EP's coming out next month, and then into 2025.
Ooh, well, am I allowed to say this? I'm going to say it. Well, I'm going on a touch of a pop-up series tour in November.
Ooh.
I'm coming to New York and Chicago and San Francisco, and you can find out about that on my Instagram or on my website. And I'm hoping to do a Canadian moment tour, maybe a more proper tour at the top of next year. But I'm really excited. I've never done a headline moment before. I'm petrified. I'm excited. And it's going to be amazing. I hope and I know it's going to be amazing. See, that's that confidence. It's going to be a sleigh. If you don't come, you're lost.
And you know what? That's the confidence we should all possess on a daily basis. One more time, let's show some love, Devon Cole. Thank you, darling.
Thank you, guys.